Hi, my name is Steve Gose, and today we're going to actually put together a nice dish garden or a nice container planter. And basically, it's very easy to do, and it's a great way to make a gorgeous piece for your home. Here I've set aside some plants. We're going to do it in this container here, which the important thing is that it has a drainage hole, which this has right in the bottom, with an attached saucer to catch any drainage water. It's very important. A lot of times people will try to do a dish garden in a container that doesn't have any drainage holes. What you wind up doing pretty quickly is getting a nice layer of water in the bottom of the container and all the roots on the plant drown. Basically, you've root rot in a dead plant. I have my container, and I'm just going to lay some crocks in. Basically, this prevents the drainage hole from clogging up and gives the water someplace to go. This is just basically a nice all-purpose potting mix, and what I like to do when I'm working with it is add a little bit of water. It's not bone dry in the bag, but it's dry enough that when you go to water it, usually the water runs off the top and makes a mess. So basically, in this case, I probably put in a cup and a half or so of water, and I'm just going to use this to mix it together. And then we set a layer in the bottom of the container. Just level it and just press it gently to firm. Now in this case, I've selected plants that are all compatible for low to moderate light levels. So they don't need a lot of sun. A little bit of sun is fine. Artificial light is good, or subdued lighting at pretty much any window. So the first thing I'm going to take is this, which is a miniature Rex begonia. Now this guy, again, I'm going to take a little of the soil off the root ball. And there we go. It's going to be a nice centerpiece. We're going to put it off just a little bit to the side. And right next to it, I'm going to use this miniature palm. This is called a Neanthobella, otherwise known as a parlor palm. Now this stays fairly small, although it will get bigger than this, and it's a great choice for limited light. So let's put him in right here. And we're going to move on. And put in another of my favorites. Boy, look at the roots on this guy. This is a creeping fig, Ficus pummel. Now this is a great choice for low to moderate light levels. Pretty easy going. The only thing with this, it really does not like to dry out. Other than that, good to go. Okay, we had a little extra. There we go. And I'm just going to set him into the front. And we're going to continue to add other plants. The next one I'd like to put in is this nice trailing ivy. This is an English ivy. And this also is an excellent choice for limited light and also likes to stay on the moist side. So this is going to be a very good neighbor for a creeping fig. Him I'm going to put off to the side here. As we go, fill in a little bit of soil to fill in your spaces. Again, press the soil down gently just to firm it in place. And as you work, periodically wrap the container on the counter. This helps settle it and basically removes any big air spaces in the mix. And for our next candidate, I'm going to put in this little guy. Now this is called a Solanginella, and this is related to ferns and moss, and it's kind of in between. Another great plant for lower light, and this is something that always stays small in stature. This is about as tall as it gets, but it serves as a great ground cover because this will spread and stay very low to the ground. Quite a nice look, and it gives you a nice naturalistic woodsy look. All right, now I've finished filling in the soil and added all the rest of our plants. A nice full look and shows a lot of color and texture. Now remember, I firmed the soil as I went, and I left about ½ an inch of space between the rim of the pot and the top of the soil. This is designed to facilitate watering so it doesn't overflow down the sides, as it usually happens with me. The next step is I just want to give this a quick wipe because it's a little dirty here. Rinse later. And then the last step for this is I'm taking some green sheet moss. There's some great products on the market. This is a brand called Super Moss that we carry here in Young's. Very nice. Always seems to be a perfect batch with great color. And this, I'm just going to press it down onto the soil. The idea is now, of course, the plants are going to grow to cover and fill in, but I do like to hide the soil, and to me it's a much more attractive look. And one of my favorite styles is the woodsy forest look, and this fits the bill perfectly. So here we go. I'm going to add a little bit more moss. Now, as you see, I've soaked this moss, and the reason for that is that it removes any dust and pine needles, as so often happens, but also it makes it much softer and much easier to work with. See, I'm just tearing it with my hands and just putting small bits of it along in the soil. Okay, I think one little bit more of the moss, and there we have it. Let me just turn this around, and let's have a look. Now, one quick thing. I'm going to reach here for my trusty watering can. Remember, I pre-moisten the soil to facilitate watering, and now we're just going to give it a light drink, basically to help settle everything in and remove any gaps that might exist. Here we go. And there we have it, all done. Now let me just lift this up a little bit and see if we can't get a look at the finished product. And there we go. Happy gardening.